podcast. I'm your host, Will. That's my boy, Quinn. We got another exciting episode lined up for you today. We're diving into the NBA Finals, breaking down the biggest moments, standout performances, and everything that's happening in the series as the battle for the championship continues to heat up. We'll talk about what teams are doing right, what adjustments are needed to be made, and what to watch for moving forward. But you already know we like to mix things up around here. So we're also going to bringing you some of the latest NFL news, talking off-season headlines, storylines, and updates from around the league as we get closer to football season. So sit back and relax. Tune in because you're locked into Mixing It Up podcast, where we keep the sports talk real and bring you the hottest topics in basketball and football. Let's get it in.
Let's get it in. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live right now on YouTube. So please go to YouTube and go ahead and tune in to Mixing It Up Podcast. Join the conversation, chat, comment, do what you need to do. But yes, let's get it in, guys. Wow. Yesterday, amazing. Amazing by the San Antonio Spurs. I have to say, I was super impressed by them boys last night. They literally came in and did what they need to do. Knew what they needed to do. Victor Wembanyama, I guess you heard me last night. You did what you needed to do. You stepped up and you went in the paint and you didn't back down. That thing what you did to Brunson, phenomenal. Let these midgets know you can't mess with no 7'5" center. Beautiful. Stephon Castle. Can we give a round of applause to Stephon Castle, please? Round of applause.
Most definitely. He came out and showed out.
Yeah, showed out. Dylan Harper, the hometown kid, showed out. Julian Champagnie, great. Vassell, overall, great game. Great game, moving the ball around. Great efficiency on the court. Great defense. Great just overall just play. A couple things takeaways from last night. I love that the Spurs came out and they controlled what they could control. They kept the tempo, they kept the pace, and they really came in and did what they needed to do. Defensively, they had the Knicks stifled last night. They had the Knicks stifled on defense. They literally had them stifle on all levels of the game. Offensively, they came out there, controlled the tip, and they were kind of cold for a little bit, but they started. They got it rolling after 3 minutes and everything, and they did what they offensively they did what they needed to do. I credit Mitch and having the boys prepared for a loud and raucous Madison Square Garden. My favorite part of the pregame was when President Trump was on screen and he got booed. I really do think that President Trump was the bad luck charm for the Knicks last night. And if you want my opinion, President Trump, keep on coming to the game. That way the Knicks can lose. We know you have a Trump Tower in New York. That's neither here or there. But keep on coming to the game so the Knicks can lose. I know some Knicks fans were happy. You know, they were excited last night for the game. They thought, get the brooms out, time to sweep. But you were sweeping your New York streets. I want to say this. After the game, I know a lot of New York fans, Knicks, you know, they're diehard fans and they love their team just like we love the Spurs. But the violence yesterday, I do not condone it, and neither do I accept it. It makes no sense for any opposing team that's a fan of an opposing team to walk down the streets of the visiting team and be assaulted by other New Yorkers and Knicks fans and everything. That is not okay. That is not okay. You want to know why Madison Square Garden ramped up their security? Not because President Trump was in the building, because you New Yorkers throw watch parties and don't know how to act. You threw watch parties all over the 5 boroughs of New York. You didn't know how to act. You had all the celebrities there last night. Cardi B was there. Fat Joe, Spike Lee bought Celebrity Row for his friends and everything. You even had Captain Benson from Law and Order SVU. Stabler was there. Ben Stiller. You name it. Everybody was at the game last night. But after the game, that violence that you guys showed against those Spurs fans, walking the streets, taking off the jersey, ripping the jersey off of them, listen, I don't condone none of that. In the end, guys, it's just the game. We have passion for our teams, yes. But guess what? We're not out on the court making the plays. We're not getting paid millions of dollars. We're fans. So if you take an L, take your butt whooping like a man and sit your behind on the loser's couch and lick your wounds and get back up and try it again. That's all I got to say. Take on the game from yesterday.
Most definitely, I definitely don't agree with all the violence that's been happening, especially towards Spurs fans. I don't condole it. And I actually talked to a Knicks fan when they were all here in San Antonio, and I asked him about it because I really wanted to know. And he's like, it's the younger crowd that are doing it. Because he said, yeah, we will heckle you, we will joke, we'll talk mess to you and everything. But we won't go that far. True fans will not go that far. And I was going across, I saw another video of it, and I actually saw where people say that's not true. Knicks fans are doing it. Those are just young people that want to try to get their clout and get into the spotlight. Oh, something's happening. Let's make a video and get on and get some likes off of it and everything else. So I do not condone it whatsoever. So on that note, we're going to stay with that game and let's talk about it. Julian Champagnie shot 44.4%, 3-pointer 42.9%, 3 for 7. Not bad shooting,
No.
12 points. Of course, the one and only Victor Wembanyama, the alien himself, 11 for 18, 61.1%, 2 for 4 at the 3-point line with 8 for 9 at the free throw for 32 points. Vassell, 3 for 4, both 3-pointers and field goals, 75% with a 2 for 3, 66.7%. Who else? Castle, 8 for 14, 57%. I think you might need to have another talk with De'Aaron Fox, though. 4 for 14, 28.6%. It's not like Harper did it any better with 5 for 18 for 27.8%. Both of them had 12 and 13 points. We said it during this whole entire postseason. Luke Kennect, my guy, you got to step up and score something while you're in there.
Got me speechless. Got me speechless.
9 minutes and you didn't score a single. You did not score a single basket. You got to jail 2 points off of the free throw line, but you did do your rebound.
Mm-hmm.
So I give you that one. Overall, 46%, 46.5% from the field, 35.3 from the 3-point line, and 78.1% from the charity stripe.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good. I think the one thing that helped the Spurs the most was they only gave the ball up 8 times. Very much so. Power only 8 times. And that's one thing I've been saying. And no matter how I look at it, no matter anything of that nature, I've said it multiple times. They need to be able to hold on to that ball. Do not do no costly turnovers or anything in that. Josh Hart, 60% from the field. And OG, 69.2%. Mitchell Robinson, it was 66.7%. Those were the highest field goal percentages from that team. 45.5% field goal, 35.1% for the 3-point. and a whole 81.8 from the charity strike, but they did have 13 turnovers. So that's what really hurt them. And you could tell that it hurt them,
Very much so. Yeah.
you know. So with that being said, those are the facts and the stats of the players for last night. Okay.
Now let's talk
So
about the officiating because Mike Brown, the press conference last night, he went on the media stand and he said he doesn't complain much, but he said that the officiating was kind of, one-sided last night. What's your take on that?
he said it was one sided because they actually started getting caught for the fouls in the third and fourth quarter. In the second half, I'm like, you have to think about it. You're over here pulling on Wimby's jersey. You're holding his arm down. You're doing all this stuff, but yet you want to complain about, oh, who's actually getting the shots. If you actually look at it, Wimby shot the most free throws with 9, and his came down to the last couple ones when Cat had his hand trapped underneath his arm. But yeah, you want to complain about, oh, let's not call fouls let's call fouls on them. Let's call fouls on them. Okay, guess what? Quit fouling. Because guess what? You even said it yourself. Hey, yeah, we could have been fouling, but okay, if you're fouling, you're fouling.
Let me just say this. I do not think the officiating played a factor last night because I think all postseason we've seen the officials call a game one way and call a game the other way. Do I think that it finally caught up to the Knicks with their fouls? Absolutely. Which is why in the second half we had 24 free throws to their 8. Now, I think what Mike Brown was trying to say is when it came to Jalen Brunson and him getting to the line, they didn't call anything. But let's be quite honest and quite reflective on this.
I
The
don't know how
Spurs,
I personally don't know how he gonna say that. He shot 7 for 8. OG's the only one who shot more than him.
right.
7 for 9.
But when it comes to
So
this,
you still Brunson still got 8 shots out there. He could have got 8 easy points. He scored 7 easy points off of it. Only person that scored on our team that scored anywhere near that was Victor, was
right.
Wendy. Our
But,
next player had 6, and that was
but,
Castle. But
but
Castle was being so physical.
so that's trying to lie on Stephon Castle real quickly because that play where he went head to head against Karl-Anthony Towns and literally put his body and his shoulder down and then went for that basket and scored and won. And I love when he got up and he literally went in his face was like that
It,
was that was great. That was great. That was
it
great.
was great because Karl-Anthony was doing it all night long.
All night long.
So
Karl-Anthony Towns literally wrapping up Wemby in his arm like this, like literally. It's to the point where I was like, are they gonna call anything on Cat? Like anything? Like the Knicks ran out of challenges with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter because they were just challenging everything. It was kind of like, well, we're in New York and we got to get the calls because we're the home team. Newsflash: the Spurs have not gotten any calls their way, regardless in San Antonio, Minnesota, Portland, or New York. They ain't got nothing, or OKC, nothing. Tony Brothers, I'm gonna put it out there. The game that he officiated against OKC Thunder, literally Hartenstein was pulling Castle's hair. They were pulling on Wemby, stepping on the shoe and everything, and they didn't call a single thing on OKC, but they called everything on us. Listen,
exactly. So I think it just caught
officiating
up
plays
to
a
him.
factor. Yes.
I think it caught up to him, and I think it would have been a lot more fouls called if it wasn't the finals.
Mm-mm.
So they actually let him play out a lot of it, and when they allow them to play it out, and then okay, now we need to start cracking down a little bit because y'all getting a little out of hand.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. They're cracking down a little bit because y'all getting out of hand. It's the exact same thing that happened. Because
Right.
with stats alone, uh, we had 21 fouls. They had 23 fouls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they had 22 free throws to our 32. You
Right.
know, all because our players played more physical and put themselves in that position to take a shot
Mm-hmm.
while they were doing it.
Mm-hmm. Uh, so I wasn't gonna do this, but I have to shout out our brother Stephen A. Stephen A. I know last night you wanted a different outcome, but I have to say there was no orange and blue skies last night. I I know you said you didn't want to come back to San Antonio for game 5, but my brother, you're gonna have to come back to San Antonio for a game 5 or game 7. Okay? You might have to come back, okay? Because we saw the Spurs officially wake up last night. Now, let me expand on what I mean wake up. Did you see Wemby's face last night at tip off?
Oh yeah, he was. He
He was
was.
like, ain't nobody stopping me tonight.
He had that motivation look, and he had that determination in his face that made
Yes.
it so much more impact
Mm-hmm.
that it wasn't even relevant enough
Right.
for anything.
Like
So
it wasn't relevant at all. What wasn't relevant at all? Like I think Wimby last night, Wimby literally walked in with a different outcome. I don't know what they ate for breakfast, what they had for lunch, but whatever it was, do it again because the last night I was super impressed with them. I really was. I almost lost my voice last night.
it
I'm
was
surprised I
great.
have it right now.
Hey,
It was
the
great.
vibe was great, and exactly where I was at, the vibe was amazing. It was fun,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just out there.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow night is game 4.
Yes.
Okay, so we know they're coming back to San Antonio no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you think that the how do you think the Spurs are going to come out?
I think the Spurs are going to come out with the same swagger that they did last night. I do believe that it lit a fire under those boys, and it they said we're in this together and we're unified and we're a team that wants to play and win for each other. So I think they're going to come up with the same swagger last night. I do expect the Knicks to have a little more sense of urgency. But when it comes to our boys, I really do think that they're going to come out with the same swagger. Now, I will say this: do the same thing you did last night when it comes to the opening tip. Control what you control. You know how we spoke yesterday about them moving the ball around, or like the old championship days.
Yep.
Get them flustered. Get them flustered to where you pass that ball around. They don't know what else to do. Uh, Stay away from the 3 pointers, please, because I saw it last night. You guys were pushing those threes.
They,
You were pushing them. We need to stay away from that. If
they,
it's
they
over,
was push, they was pushing them really hard,
yeah,
and 34 of them only hit 12.
mm-hmm,
Okay, but we did keep um the Knicks in check with it because they shot 37, only hit 13.
yeah,
So I could see a positive outcome on that part.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So let me ask the question: what do you expect from the Knicks tomorrow night?
I think they're going to come out and they're going to try to prove something, but I need the Spurs to stay on that mindset. It's the last game. this is always from this point on, it's a game 7. If they
Mm-hmm.
stay on that mindset where it's, hey, if we lose, we're going home, it'd be a completely different atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I think I would love it. However it comes out. Josh Hart come out last night just shooting those threes.
Yep.
And I think he was one reason why they stayed in it. And he was only predicted 9 points,
Yeah.
9.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
And he killed that within the first quarter.
Yeah.
So it was nonstop.
It was nonstop. It was nonstop. Josh Hart, he got hot last night. He really did. Josh Hart really he got hot on a different level. Um, and woo, yeah, Josh Hart. I don't know, like that dude. He scares me a little bit because when he can get hot, he get hot. He really can. We have got to keep OG Anunoby in check. OG Anunoby, for some reason, that corner three is his sweet spot. We got to keep him in check.
We
Agreed.
definitely do. And it was show, especially when it comes down to, hey, making him go inside and it'll bring a lot more out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So I do have a question for you.
Okay.
What was the biggest turning point in the game?
I think the biggest turning point in the game was we were down by 7 at halftime, and good old Charles Barkley, like he always does, counts us out, said, "Pack him up. This game is over. It's a sweep." But when that third quarter hit, that was the biggest point ever because the third quarter, I think we literally scored 10 unanswered, just like that. And the Knicks, I think we went on like a 10-0 run. Man, it might have been a 7-0 run, like in the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. So I think that was the turning point in the game. Was that started in the third quarter to where like it literally momentum swung our way, and we really took the pendulum and swung it to our way. I think that was the turning point in the game. Was that started the third quarter?
I definitely agree. One thing the Spurs drive me absolutely crazy about. They struggled the first half, but that second half they came out on fire.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, hey, you gotta play 48 minutes, play 48 minutes, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're not playing no 20 minutes here or whatever. No, play the full all quarters. And I think that's one thing that the Spurs keep in a close game.
They need to, and like we spoke about this before, a couple episodes ago, they need to continue to play the long game. This is a game of runs. This is the NBA Finals. Each team is going to have their runs. So this is a game of runs because you notice, the Knicks, they had their runs, and they made their runs to where they took the lead, to where they took the lead, and they had a momentum and everything, and then we were right there and taking it back and keeping it close and everything. But they have to learn this is a game of runs, and you are going to have your moments to where you run out of gas, and then your moments to where you're full throttle, full pedal. So this is the game of runs, and I said it. This is a marathon, not a sprint. It may be
Yes,
the
indeed.
first to four wins, but this is the marathon, not a sprint. And we got to continue to play our game. Continue to play our game.
Yes, most definitely. Okay. So who is under the most pressure right now to step up?
Luke Cornett.
I
Luke
totally
Cornett.
agree.
is under
Luke
the most
Kornet needs to be that factor where when Wimby comes out of the game, that their game plan does not change. If he could do that, the Spurs will be totally unstoppable.
Yes.
Okay, so he needs to step up, play a game, play a better game, make points. Because right now he's just the fifth player on the court. Yeah, he could do some defense here and there. He could get the rebounds because of his height, but at the exact same time, if you start scoring, if you start making that impact where, oh, we're going to have to start joining in, oh man, we got to really start guarding him too, it will change the whole outcome and a whole different atmosphere of that.
Yes. Luke Kornet, I need to see something emphatic from Luke Kornet like Game 7, where he made that block against Hartenstein and he ran down the court and Wimpy had 5 fouls and he knew, oh, like if he didn't make that block, the game was over. I need to see something like, I don't like, look, okay, Kornet, Luke, I don't need you to score any points, but I just need you to be out there and I need you to be that defensive presence that we need when Wimby's on the bench. Okay? That's what I need from Luke Kornet. Other than him, I'm going to name one more person who needs to step up. And we put this young man under a microscope multiple times all postseason. De'Aaron Fox. I need to see De'Aaron Fox be more aggressive. I need to see De'Aaron Fox come in and actually make an impact. I'm not worried about Dylan Harper, Carter Bryant, Castle, any of those boys, but I am concerned about De'Aaron Fox because if it comes down to it in the moment when we need Fox the most, is he going to be able to deliver?
I think he can. But he needs to stay more consistent. And I think that's one thing that has been hurting him. And I think it's been hurting him pretty much his whole career, especially being over in Sacramento. Last night he went from 4 to 14. Okay. With that being said, let's see. 4 for 14 last night in game 3. He went 8 for 12 in game 2. Okay. He went
We can clearly agree
3 for 13 in game 1. Okay. So there is
key.
That what?
Consistency is key.
Yes, it is. And I do not see him with a lot of consistency. And I think that he needs to be there and be more consistent. Biggest thing that's going to save us is consistency. If you ain't consistent, you ain't going to affect nothing or do anything in anything there was because you're unreliable. Okay. But like I did say last night, he wasn't going to get pulled from the starting lineup.
And you were right. You were right. I think, looking at it, I mean, I would love to see Harper come off the starting lineup, and Fox come off the bench. But I mean, I love what Mitch did last night, or later in the game where he played that small guard lineup to where it kind of puts a little more pressure on the Knicks when it comes to it, because when you put Dylan Harper on Jalen Brunson, Dylan Harper is much bigger than Jalen Brunson. and it's a bigger body for him to maneuver around. And it kind of flustered the Knicks offense a little bit to where with that lineup, they couldn't figure anything out.
Plus, I think the biggest thing with that when they put that lineup in was the fact that um, it was more speed out there. And so when they had that speed out there, their power forward, Cat and um, and Hart really couldn't keep up with them. I'm sorry, Cat and OG, since they're so big, they're a little bit slower compared to the point guards, and made it where it's little ineffective.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's the way I feel about that one. Okay.
All right.
And I'll give you one more question to get it going. What
Okay.
is the key matchup fans should watch in this next game?
The key matchup fans should watch is Victor Wembanyama against Karl Anthony Towns. These two Goliaths have been battling it out all series long. And last night, Wemby had the edge. But will Karl Anthony Towns step up and do what he needs to do? Or will he get manhandled again last night like Wemby did? Because I'm going to tell you, I've been quite critical on Karl Anthony Towns this postseason. I've been quite critical on him. And I wanted to see something different from him. And these first two games, he impressed me. He really did. But last night, Wemby handled his business.
And it shows, and it really came out to do it and to let them see that he was like, I can handle you.
Mm-hmm.
I just been letting you, per se, I've been letting you enjoy your time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I got you though. I got your number.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the things that people don't see.
Now let me ask you, what is the key matchup you should look for tomorrow night in Game 4?
Tonight at Game 4, and it's going to be a good one. And I really think it's Brunson versus Castle. Okay. Because if they play it right, I would stick Castle on him and let Fox guard Bridges just so that it's a little bit more, because Castle and Castle has been, his defense has stepped up this postseason. His defense has actually improved just in this series alone. And he has been doing more with his body than with his hands.
Agreed.
Like, he's been really, hey, my hands are up. I'm not touching him. He just can't go around me. And he'll sit there and guard him with his body, not letting him get around, like keep his feet moving to be able to show, hey, I got this. What you got? I could do this. What do you got? And it's really showing on it.
Yes, it is. We're going to switch gears to the NFL because I hear that we have some things to talk about when it comes to the NFL. So mini camp started today.
Most of all mini camps have started today.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, they're all in it already. We'll start off with a couple highlights, some good news that been happening just that came out today compared to when we did our episode yesterday. Vikings quarterback JJ McCarthy competing for reps and he pretty much says it's out of control, but he does want to remain in Minnesota. Okay, so much respect to him, but it's just like, hey, He says he feels good despite being in a quarterback battle with Kylie Murray, and said he would like to remain with the club if he doesn't win the starting job.
So even if Kyler Murray, gets the starting job, he still wants to remain in Minnesota.
Yep.
That's good. That you know what? Respect to the kid, because that kid's been through a lot his first couple years in the NFL.
Oh
So
yeah, most definitely, and it really shows.
yes.
All right, Christian Gonzalez retaliates comments to the Patriots and contract talks. Of course, I want to be here. Patriots cornerback Christian Gonzalez has entered the window for a contract extension, and if he gets his way, he'll be a cornerstone in New England for years to come. So he wants to stay over there in New England. Is he going to be able to handle the heat over there?
No.
So
No. I have nothing against Chris Gonzalez. Chris Gonzalez is a great defensive player. Highly, highly recruited and highly scouted for, coming into the NFL. Ball hawk plays the defensive game better than any young defensive player right now. When it comes to contract talks, I think the Patriots they have some decisions to make, especially with them acquiring AJ Brown. So they have some decisions to make when it comes to contracts. Of course, this will not be solved in the next couple months. Preseason is right around the corner. Regular season is right around the corner. So Christian Gonzalez might have to play on his little current deal that he has now, and then later next offseason, get his money. Is he worth the bag? You want my opinion? Yeah, he's worth the bag.
okay.
I would give it to him, but Robert Kraft and the front office are gonna have to make some decisions. They are.
Most definitely they will. Okay. We got those people up north. Nick Sirianni
Will you just say the name? Just say
says
it.
those up north people had good run with AJ Brown. Head coach is excited about the wide receiver group. In his first press conference since the AJ Brown trade, head coach Nick Sirianni says had a good run with Brown, and he's excited about the new wide receiver group heading into the 2026 season.
Why wouldn't he be excited? Why wouldn't he be? I mean,
I say the same thing. I'm like, you had a quote unquote problem in there, and now it's gone. Why wouldn't you be excited? It shows the maturity. Let's keep going. Let's keep pushing forward. Let's see what we could do.
you removed a cancer from the locker room, and now you literally have a clean slate to where you can start over with these boys. Why wouldn't you be excited? Why wouldn't you be? I have nothing else to say with that. No.
Okay. Let's see what we got for the roundup. NFL News Roundup: Cowboys holding open QB2 competition between Joe Milton and Sam Howell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's start off with, let's see how they want to do this. Arizona Cardinals. Some news. Quarterback Jacoby Brisket reported to mandatory minicamp as he seeks a rise, but did not participate in on-field drills Tuesday. Per local reports, head coach Mike said the team will take things one day at a time. With linebacker Josh Sweat reported to mandatory minicamp, but did not participate on-field Tuesday as he ramps up after missing earlier portions of Arizona's off-season program. So
Okay.
Arizona's really having, I guess you could say, a little trouble over there.
They are. They are.
Okay. Um,
But stop the presses. We have a rookie signing. 48 minutes ago, Ian Rappaport has just reported that the Browns' first round pick wide receiver Casey Concepcion has just signed his 4-year fully guaranteed rookie contract, roughly worth $20 million, in a deal done by his agent.
nice. Nice.
So Cleveland Browns, their rookie got signed.
That's good. That's good. Let's see. The Baltimore Ravens. Every player has entered the building for mandatory mini camp. Buffalo Bills. Everyone is in attendance for mini camp. With injuries, linebacker Deion Williams expected to return from injury in time for training camp. Who did not want to? Oh, Brady, who did not want to specify what Williams' injury is. So the linebacker got an injury over there, but they don't want to say what it is yet.
So it's undisclosed, which means it tells me that it's more than what they think it is.
It's that, or he's already healed from it. It might have been something at the end of last year that he took to training, that he did recovery from over the off season, and we shall see.
Can we get a drum roll, please? I just have another update. It just came through on Twitter. So drum roll, please.
Okay, what we got? What we got?
Brandon Ayuk insults the San Francisco 49ers again. And I quote, "They mad stupid for paying $50 million in 8 months." Brandon Ayuk wants out of San Fran.
Oh, he definitely does. So
he has just made it known that he wants a trade. He wants a trade. He wants a trade.
And, he definitely does.
And I don't know if the 49ers will do it. And he says, and I quote this, he called the 49ers expletive little boys who needed to stop running from the bill. Ayuk's most recent post took a shot at San Francisco for paying a bill. However, and another thing you want to know why they're really mad though, Ayuk said they mad because they stupid, they dumb. They mad that they paid me $50 million in 8 months and then voided my guarantees for the 2027, and I'm about to be on the new team in 2027. They mad at themselves for real. They're acting mad at me because they stupid expletive is mad at themselves.
He definitely wants out.
Hot take with Brandon Ayuk.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
All right, you ready to go with Cincinnati Bengals?
Let's go to the Cincinnati Bengals.
QB Joe Burrow restructured his contract heading into the 2026 season, which creates $10 million in cap room.
Ooh.
Defensive end Howie, round 2, number 41 overall, signed his rookie contract.
You remember what I said? The Bengals are going to make some noise?
Yep. Opening up $10 million? Yeah, it definitely going to make some noise.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cleveland Browns.
Here comes Max Crosby.
Most definitely.
Yep.
Cleveland Brown. Guard Joel Butineo, a 7-time Pro Bowler, announced his retirement following 12 seasons with the Browns.
Congratulations on a great
injury. Defensive tackle Mason Graham had a walking boot on his foot during Tuesday mandatory minicamp and wasn't practicing.
Okay, well, I mean, he's got time to heal, so.
Yep. In other news, head coach Todd Markin told reporters he doesn't expect to name a starting quarterback after mandatory minicamp. Shedeur Sanders took the majority of the first team reps on Tuesday. Deshaun Watson will take most of the first team reps on Wednesday, per Markin. Quarterback Dylan Gabriel was seen wearing number 6 in practice on Tuesday. Gabriel wore number 8 last season, but newly acquired pass rushing Jared Voss has been wearing that number in recent seasons.
Let's stay with the Cleveland Browns for a second, because I really want to, and I really want to say this about Cleveland. They have a problem at the quarterback situation. They do. They have a problem. Shedeur Sanders needs to start. I don't care about Deshaun Watson. I don't care about Dylan Gabriel. Gabriel.
I'm jumping in on this one.
Okay.
I said it from the start, and I will always continue to say it. This is a podcast. We're mixing it up. We ain't holding nothing back. They're messing with Shedeur Sanders because of his last name. Period. Okay? Let that man play. Let him do what he does. Okay? You put Dylan Gabriel in as the starting quarterback. Didn't want to give Shedeur no reps, no nothing, no first team, but then you want him to perform as a first team player. But he doesn't get to practice with nobody. So there's no way they can create that relationship to bring that alive. Okay.
Let me jump in real quickly. His last name is Sanders. Automatically, that's a spotlight on him. Because his dad was primetime Deion Sanders. I don't care. I don't care if his last name was Colonel Sanders. Okay? I don't care. He is not his dad. And draft night, a year or two ago, draft night, they did that kid dirty. They picked every single quarterback ahead of him just because his dad was Deion Sanders. No kid should have to go through that on draft night just because of who their father is. No kid should have to go through that. I feel bad for Shedeur Sanders. If I were Shedeur, I'd go to that front office and say, I want out. I want to trade.
I don't see it. I would not want him to do that because guess what? He has proved himself. He's making for the name for what it is there in Cleveland.
Yes.
He has put Cleveland pretty much back on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Myles Garrett helped with it, but at the exact same time, everybody was trying to watch to see what Shedeur was going to do.
Right.
Okay. Dylan Gabriel should never, ever been starting.
No.
But yet, you wanted to put that in there and let it roll, whatever, because of his last name. Now we got Shedeur Sanders versus Deshaun Watson. Deshaun hasn't done nothing since he left Texans.
Deshaun, can we stay out of the massage parlors, please? Because it's mixing up no off limits.
Hey, but he's have not done nothing since he was in Houston.
Right.
Once he got injured in Houston and they traded him away, he has not done nothing. He can't stay healthy. He doesn't produce numbers.
Mm-mm.
He's ineffective.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? If you let Shedeur practice with the teams that he's going to be playing with, it will be a whole different show.
Yes.
Okay. So let the man cook. Let Shedeur play.
Yeah.
Quit trying to make him this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
All right. On to the Cowboys.
That team up I-35.
Yeah,
right
that
there.
great team.
The team.
The great team.
In 30 plus years.
Wide receiver Jonathan Mingo has a minor groin injury. Center Matt Hasten will undergo neck surgery and is likely to end up on the physical unable to perform list. Safety Jalen Thompson has a minor particular injury. Okay. And then, of course, what we talked about earlier, quarterbacks Joe Milton and Sam Howell will be in open competition for Dallas QB2 spot and splits reps evenly. Shanahan added that Milton took the number 2 reps last week and Howell is set to take them this week.
Oh,
and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to just like Cleveland. Guess what? If you're playing for that number 2 spot, you shouldn't be playing for number 1 or number 2. If you drafted a quarterback, he is your number 1. Okay.
The Cowboys drafted Joe Milton.
Did they?
They drafted. They picked up Sam Howell off of waivers.
Yes, but it's just like, okay, let them have those reps. Mm-hmm. Let them get into that flow. Let them get them into that rhythm. All right. We're going up to Indianapolis.
We're going to Indianapolis, but before you do that, Shams Charania has just reported that no flagrant upgrade on the uncalled foul on Spurs' Victor Wembanyama will be assessed.
Check, please. I'm done. Let's keep going. I love it. The Colts quarterback Daniel Jones Achilles will participate in everything except for on 11-11 during this week's mandatory minicamp. Wide receiver Alex Pierce ankle won't do anything in mandatory minicamp. Defensive tackle DeFrost Buckner, his neck won't do anything in mandatory minicamp. And retired safety Ruben Lara was placed on the reserve/retirement list. Let's go to KC.
Kansas City.
Cornerback L'Jarius Sheen signed with the Chiefs was officially announced. Defensive back Marlon Sewell was waived.
He was waived?
He was waived.
Wow.
Offensive tackle Warren Morris and the Chiefs had agreed to explore a trade option. Let's go to Los Angeles.
You're going to the Rams?
We're going to the Rams. They signed linebacker Tomo Fox.
You got to be kidding me.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
All right. Now, since we got that team out the way, let's go down to South Beach.
Miami.
All right. Senator Aaron Brewer is present at volunteer organization team activities following last week's mandatory minicamp and will participate on the practice field. Head coach Jeffrey Hurley said Brewer, who missed a previous OTA session due to a family obligation, is seeking a new contract.
He is seeking a new contract, really?
Linebacker Jordan Brooks is present at volunteer organization team activities after attending last week's mandatory minicamp and will participate on the practice field. Brooks is entering his final year of his contract.
Wow. Miami.
They got some work to do over there.
They got some work to do up there. I don't, you know what? I think, now that Mike McDaniel is out, I think Mike McDaniel was the problem. I never thought for once it was Tua Tagovailoa. I never thought for once he was the issue. Mike McDaniel was the problem in Miami.
Oh, yeah.
He was the problem.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, the Patriots.
Okay.
Linebacker Gabe Jacobs, a second-round pick by the New England Patriots, who hasn't signed his rookie contract yet, underwent a procedure and isn't at mandatory minicamp.
What?
So they picked him. He doesn't want to sign his rookie contract. And now he already went undergo a procedure.
Bust.
So
Bust.
my ultimate question is, who's taking care of that? Because you're not under a contract with nobody.
Not unless he got a sugar mama we don't know about.
Hey, who knows? The Giants. Carter, linebacker Abdul Carter, ankle ain't participating on the second day of New York's minicamp. Carter twisted his ankle in practice Monday, after which head coach John Harbaugh said the injury does not look serious.
I think Abdul Carter being picked by the Giants was the worst thing the Giants could have ever done.
You think so?
Yes. Now, I mean, he did great things in Penn State. Okay, great things, highly recruited. But the Giants have this philosophy when it comes to drafting defensive players that it's going to fix whatever they need to fix.
Yeah.
Let me be clear. The New York Football Giants have a lot more things to worry about than the defense.
Why do you keep saying the New York Football Giants?
Because that's what they call them. That's what they call them. They call them the New York Football Giants. That's what they call them. That's what I don't call them that, but that's what they call them. I call them the scrubs of the NFC East.
What happened to the Washington Commanders? That used to be the football team. That was it.
Okay, the Washington Commanders. Okay, they had that one year where they made some noise and beat the Detroit Lions, and then the eventual Super Bowl.
We'll get to them.
Okay, yeah.
We already know how we feel about. We already know how we feel about every team over there.
We know.
New York Jets injuries. Quentin Skinner reinvented an injury reserve after initially being waived with an injury discontinuation. Nothing to say anything.
No.
They don't know what it is or what.
No.
So
no.
I'll go ahead and say it this time. You won't catch me saying that a lot on this podcast, but Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver Malachi Lemon, hamstring, won't practice during this week's mandatory minicamp.
No surprise there. No surprise. No surprise that Ricky Lemon won't practice due to a hamstring. I have been seeing some tape on him when it comes, to the OTAs and everything, and I am impressed with the kid. I do like what I see with him. I still think he needs, a little bit of development here and there, but I do believe, Malachi Lemon, he will be legit in a year or two.
Most definitely.
Year or two. Yes, he will. I'm surprised you said the name. I thought you were going to say that team up north.
Yeah. And finally, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Punter Adrian Larners was claimed off of waivers from the Buccaneers.
Okay. Again, useless news. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I know why I said they're going to the AFC Championship, but after careful consideration, I have changed that.
You can't.
I can't change it.
You already locked it in.
I locked it in. It's already locked in. Okay. All right. Pittsburgh Steelers to the AFC Championship. I'm sticking with it.
And a roster cut from the Steelers.
A roster cut.
Wide receiver. Brandon Johnson.
Oh, I thought you were going to say DK. Okay. Brandon Johnson. Okay. They cut him. So they cut him. Dead weight.
So, hey, let's see what happens. One more news. Let's see. Doesn't say when it was posted. But free agent. Oh yeah, free agent cornerback L'Jarius Sneed visit the Chiefs 2 years after trade.
So he's looking to get back with them.
Yes, indeed.
Mm. All right.
We already talked about it before. The Saints running back Alvin Kamara present at organized team activities with the Saints.
I believe
Seahawks.
Alvin Kamara will be traded mid-season.
I think so, and I hope he comes to the Cowboys.
Oh, stop! Stop with that. Stop. Okay, since you brought up the Cowboys, okay, let me say this. I don't say this much, and you probably won't ever catch me saying it again on this podcast ever again. But the Cowboys' running game last year was dangerous with Javonte Williams. It was dangerous.
It was, but it's the way he runs,
True.
and that's the problem.
Yes.
You know, if you actually look, especially if you go back into history, look at all of our running backs, what they did after they left the Cowboys and everything else. And I feel Kamara is a great fit for the Cowboys.
He is.
Why? Because he's a straight runner. Yeah. He doesn't like to run on the edges. He likes to be that power going straight up the middle. Hey, I'm going to do the halfback slant. Hey, I'm going straight in. I'm doing just a delay handoff just to get that opening. Mm-hmm. And he could do more speed and more damage going directly straight up.
Right.
And that's what the Cowboys' run game is. Mm-hmm. Look at Zeke Elliott. Great with the Cowboys his first couple of years. He just slacked off after he got his after his rookie contract. Everything straight up the middle was great. When he went on to the Patriots like to run on the outside. He could not do nothing. Mm-hmm. It shows. All right. Seahawks pass rusher Derek Hall agrees to a 3-year, $42 million extension. So they're keeping him over there, which is good.
Very good.
You know, so all right, let's see. Deadline to cut rosters is down to 53 players set for Sunday, August 30th.
Right around the corner.
Time is ticking.
We are going to see a lot of NFL moves here in the next couple of weeks and months leading up to the regular season. We are, most definitely going to see still exciting NBA Finals playoff basketball between the New York Knicks and our beloved San Antonio Spurs. As we said, Game 4 tomorrow night tips off 7:30 on ABC, ESPN. Watch parties all around San Antonio. Please, wherever you do, go watch the game somewhere. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes another episode of Mixing It Up podcast. We want to thank each and every one of you for locking in, tuning in, subscribing, commenting, sharing everything. We see you on IG sharing. We see the trollers on IG too. Trust me, we see them. We woke up to some trollers this morning. But we see it all, Lord, guys. And so we are extremely grateful and blessed. And with that being said, your co-host Quinn has nothing to say. I'm going to turn it over to my host, my brother, Will, close us out.
All right. And that's just going to do it. Let's wrap it up with another great episode of Mixing It Up podcast. We appreciate everybody for tapping in with us today as we broke down the NBA Finals, talked through the biggest moments and storylines, and giving you a little update at the latest NFL news. Make sure you stay locked in with us because we got more episodes, more sports talk, and more real conversations coming your way. Let us know your thoughts on everything that we discussed today, who you think is taking the NBA Finals, and what NFL stories are you watching the closest this season. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and subscribe. Turn on those notifications so you know when we're going live so you won't miss anything. For now, this is Mixing Up Podcast signing off. Stay safe, stay blessed, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.